Yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to another or new Deep Tempo podcast special here with a very special guest, Kurt.
We have a special guest. Who might that be?
It's man like Peter.
Peter who?
Peter from Frozen Place.
Oh my gosh!
How's it going, bro?
Yeah, thank you. I'm fine. Thank you for inviting me and
It
let
is,
me join to the podcast.
it is our pleasure. I'm just making sure I'm still recording it because like the whole toolbar is just changed and it's
Yes.
freaked me out for a bit. It's not. I was like, oh my god.
We're good.
I think it's gone. But yeah, welcome, peeps. We did mention we have teased kind of, haven't we? There's been like a brand new project for Deep Tempo, I guess. Like the first time ever physical project that Deep Tempo has been a part of musically, I suppose. Other than our own merch, other than 140 zines, and I don't know, any other little special.
Well, on the Frozen Tempo play, but we weren't physically on it as artists in some aspect.
Yeah, we were presenting it, of course. You guys should know, you've been following us along, that we've been working with Pierre. We now have the Frozen Tempo vinyl release. But Peter invited us to be a very special guest on, I guess, a part of this new tape cassette project, bro. Tell us about it. Come on. What did you ask us to do? I'll let you tell the people, man.
Okay, so the whole cassette project is started about a year ago in last September, October. You know, you came to Budapest. When? In September?
Yeah.
When the Belgian guys were here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I already had a couple of tunes. And then I decided to ask you to make a special mix for this cassette.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not just the compilation album. It's very cool, 10 tracks, but also the DJ mix is very special and very nice. I've listened it many times, and also the tape sounds great. So
Mate,
yeah.
the quality sounds so good, man.
Yeah. You've tried it in your boombox.
Yeah, I got a new little boombox. People are gonna see that actually. Maybe it'll flash up on here when we because we need to use a little overlay when we do the tune in a bit. But yeah, I was going to, I suppose I can't not mention that. Yeah, you invited us like after that the Budapest event in September, as you mentioned. But like I was not long leaving for Asia as well. That's the other thing, man. You were like
yeah.
the
It was a last minute mix.
Yeah, it was literally, we recorded it the last week I was here, even in rugby, and I was like I already had like half my bag packed. I'm planning to go away. We had other stuff we were trying to finish off. We recorded the podcast before I went away because I had time off when I was like first going away, as you usually do, like have a bit of holiday at first, you know, settle into like, you know, acclimatize to the new like time zone and stuff. And so
new food, new temperature.
Yeah, this is even before the, you know, I think, no, when did we, I'm trying to think what else it doesn't even matter anyway. Yeah, but it was, I couldn't not say yes, basically. That's the thing. It was like when you asked us, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Our mix on a tape cassette, bro.
Yeah, I know. When that came in, we were like, we have to do this.
It wasn't even like, oh, should we think about it? It's like, we have to do this. How do we fit it in? We've got to make it happen because it's too sick. Of course. I think we were going to say we need to, before we get into the tape a little bit more, we are going to talk about tape project and stuff. We should talk about Frozen Plates as a whole. But before we even get into that, I just want to briefly mention, I mean, there's a reason we talked about it in the podcast a lot, but of course, when you first sent tunes over to us, obviously it was just, oh, Frozen Plates, who is this? You know, got this in here, but releasing some kind of like quite exclusive, very limited vinyl releases, keeps the tune very special. And from the off, man, when you first started sending the tunes, we were playing them in our mixes, weren't we?
Yeah, but the thing is, I knew about Frozen Plates very, very early on. So because I was listening to your first and second one on your SoundCloud. Yeah. This was before and I was like, oh, this is vinyl only. It's like, I wish I could get these on Digi and shit. And then eventually, obviously, we ended up doing the podcast, and then you came through with them. And I think I just asked you for the previous ones as well, because we were like, oh, fuck it. And you just, you sent it through. Yeah. I've always loved the Frozen Plates brand and all the tunes and the vibe. And this is why the mix is very special to us as well, because we got to play all of the Frozen Plates releases, like not every single one, but we get to pick from that specific lineup of tracks. And it made it kind of easier in that aspect because you're limited to what tracks to play.
He says that, but I did the final section in the mix.
Yeah, yeah, like
it's like when he gets to pick them, it's like you're kind of working what's working off each other. I was there like, whoa, I gotta do the final bit of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was gonna say let's make sure we don't go off track here. We'll get more into the mix. Frozen plates. Let's start with how do you even first I suppose how did you even discover dubstep, Peter? I don't even know if I know this. And tell people a little bit about where you were when you started the label as well, because that makes sense on the brand as well. I think that's important.
Yeah, probably. So I was living in Taiwan, in Taipei, when the whole idea just came to start a label. Actually, I didn't know anything about how to make a label, how to make pre-masters, how to make mastering, how the whole vinyl cutting thing works. I was just feeling, okay, let's try and start something new. I've been blogging like since, I don't know, early 2010s, like 11 or 12, but I was never thinking about to release music. So when I was in Taiwan, I had a lot of time to thinking, and two of my friends, DST and IARC, had two bangers, the first tracks. And I told the guys, let's release these tracks on a dubplate style, on 10-inch vinyls. And they said, okay, let's do it. And I was counting how much the cost and how much the mastering. Yeah, maybe it can work. And here we are 4 years later. I'm preparing for the next releases, and yeah, we have a cassette compilation. I've released more than 25 records, because there have been a 7-inch with you, and the 7-inch counted as X, Frozen Plates X. So yeah, 25 records.
Nice.
So yeah, but it was never meant to be so many releases. I just wanted to do one, and the second one, and the third one. And and it's and it's continued.
But it's addictive. It's addictive, man. That's
absolutely
100%. And what about the actual name Frozen Plates? How did you come up with that? What was the idea behind it? Because I don't know if we actually spoke about it, but I had an idea in my head to do with Man's Job and that. But what was the actual? How did you come up with the name?
I don't know how does it sound in English. The Frozen Plates name, is it sounds cool or
yeah, it works. It works perfectly.
I was at the university, a university student, and I was listening lots of dubstep, drinking lots of beers, smoking lots of spliff, and listening lots of dubstep. And I've been collecting freebies. Maybe it sounds weird.
Yeah.
Who does collect freebies? But I was collecting freebies, free downloads, a lot.
Yeah, mate. And people do the same, man.
Yeah, and I was trying mixing music. Downloaded the virtual DJ free version, using it with controller.
Yeah.
And I uploaded the mix to the SoundCloud, not SoundCloud, the Mixcloud.
Yeah.
And it required a username. And I was thinking, like, what? How does this music sound? What's the feeling behind the music? And I felt like it's dark and cold. Dub. It doesn't sound good. So I was like, try to find another word to describe the sound. And it just came Frozen. Because the sound is very cold. It's more cold. It's frozen. So that's the story behind the name Frozen.
It's actually good to know, because I was thinking down a different line,
Yeah, go on, explain.
Yeah.
I thought it was to do with your job, bro, with your academia, bro. Just like relation in terms of, because I was thinking about like with the whole limited vinyl release and dubplate style, tunes kind of like, that's why we enjoy playing them. Obviously, people who collect, you know, I've seen enough people online now, like since getting to know you from, you know, when you first reached out to the podcast, just how many people are passionate about your label and the music that you're putting out and representing as well. It keeps it special, you know, kind of like, and I thought it was kind of like related in terms of like you being, well, I guess an archaeologist, right? Is that the right term to it? Yeah. So like, just I was thinking of like tunes like being frozen in time, like those like
frozen in time, frozen in vinyl.
That's what I was thinking from when we got to know you, man. Was like
When I was in Taipei, I was thinking about the possible names of the label. And there were other versions, but actually my wife told me to keep the Frozen, the name, not change, because I already had a Facebook page and a blog, and all of them was called Frozen Dub. And she told me, why just not keep the original name? You don't need to change it. No. So
it works perfect,
man.
It
makes sense.
Nah, it's so good to know. Yeah, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect, man. It works. I think for the tunes, it works. It ties into your story, whether you even know about it or not, because presumptions get to know you, man. We should let people know that you don't live in Taiwan no more, I suppose. Obviously,
no, not anymore. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it is sick. I do obviously, as you know, on my most recent trip, I had the pleasure of going. But yeah, now you are based back in. You're at home base, aren't you? Back in Hungary.
Not in Hungary.
Not in Budapest though, but not far.
No, not far from Budapest, but still 100 kilometers.
Yeah,
1.5 hour driving.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll see what happens in it next year, and see what Frozen Plate stuff is happening. We have to mention, if anyone hasn't been to a Frozen Plate night in Budapest, quite a few UK people did come through to the last one, thanks to my excellent
You
just gotta tell people, like, it's not that expensive, the flights aren't expensive, you'll have a great time. And then look what happened, people came we mentioned this earlier as well on the podcast we did just a minute ago, that you actually promote your night way in advance, which allows people to actually to book, you know, flights.
We started promoting like 2 months before the event.
It's the best thing for
I think for anyone in like on Europe mainland, if you're trying to attract any UK heads like travelers on that, 2 months is like the minimum. It's like the minimum you like the flights and stuff. You're in Budapest, you're kind of a little bit more lucky in terms of like flights and overall price of accommodation, and just like going out, it's a little bit more affordable. But some of the other cities are crazy expensive. So unless you've got like a super cheap flight from London, people elsewhere in the UK are going to struggle to make that trip, really, because it's gonna get pricey. But we can't wait for future ones. We'll touch on that later. We'll leave some teasers. Needless to say, you've seen Frozen Tempo 1. We're going to carry on working with Peter in the future, so you should keep a lookout, people. Everyone who's tuned in now. We've got some exciting stuff in the works, man. I can't wait to bring that to you. But back to the cassette. Let's get on the cassette project.
Let's have a little
we should probably mention who's on. He's got a whole stack behind him. Look at pictures. So we have a couple, two between us. We've actually got more at my house, but yeah, look at him. He's got a whole stack of them. The A side has all the tracks on it. I think, how many was it? 10 or was it 8?
10.
It's 10 tracks. There you go.
You got a little list there, bro.
Oh man, he's got the look at that. Let's get the graphic out. Actually, pass through there. The artwork. Oh, do you want to shout out who did the artwork for you as well? Do you want to shout them out? It's really nice.
A Hungarian guy made the artwork. The same guy who made the artwork for the Tefa release.
Okay. Yeah, so good. It really suits like the whole your brand. Like he's nailed it with that that illustration on the front. I think it just works so good. And the little insert's wicked. We have got to mention side B mixed by Deep Tempo, Reverend Dread and Cutter, Charlie Barrington Osborne and Todd Jones Cutter. How can a tempo be frozen? Special mixtape compilation by Deep Tempo. We should mention that. So there's a few of the track names for them. We'll go through the people. You've got Argo, 11th Hour, a Mob Killer and Exter collab. Got Substrata, Hotcut, 3WA, Atom Dubs, Frama, Sadik, Musikan and Seta collab as well at the end there, man. Of course, a few of these heads now are featured on a Frozen Plates night as well.
Exactly.
But yeah, how long you mentioned that you already had a couple of tunes when we come to play for, yeah? How long did it take you total to get all the tunes together, like from start to finish?
Ooh, it was almost a year.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought it will be much faster and much quicker, but actually, the whole project was done during the December, and then the mastering had to be finalized.
Yeah.
Big up Kodama for the mastering.
Big up Kodama. He's mastering like honestly half the scene right now. He's very in demand, like how because he's sick.
Yeah, because he's a very talented engineer and also a very good guy. So if you have any problem during the mastering, he can solve it. And if you are not satisfied with the result, he can remake all the mastering. So yeah, he's a very nice guy and very talented engineer. And he had to make 2 different mastering for the cassette because the tape mastering requires a little bit different method than the digital mastering. So what you hear on the tape is a little bit different from what you hear from the digital sources. So yeah, this took some time, and also the manufacturer was like 6 or 8 weeks long. Actually, not that long as for vinyl, but still.
Took a minute. Where was it? Where were they based anyway? Like the cassette manufacturer? Were they in Hungary or they?
No, it's in Czech Republic.
Oh, okay, yeah. So this is on the mainland.
Yeah,
interesting.
In the European Union. So
it's funny because since I come back, I have discovered a couple more like cassette producers recently. There's someone in some of the gang that know who obviously in the Formosa crew and Frontline Taiwan putting out tape cassettes as well. There's a guy called Cosimo, I don't even know. He's been putting out tape backs. There's a producer there in Taiwan as well.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, I've seen him. He's been putting up stuff on his page, so I'll send you a link just in case you ever want to link up with your roots for a future cassette. Even though it'd be more expensive and obviously less eco getting them from all the way from Taiwan, but you never know. But for a special one-off for Frozen Plates, I think it could be worthwhile in the future. As I say, the mix though, we should actually mention as well. It also features some forthcoming music, I believe.
It does.
I'm trying to remember like which we've put in there, like because we don't have a track list in front of us, so we can't.
And please don't forget to talk about your concept behind the mix because it's very interesting. You not just like mixing the music and you didn't just choose the let's say good music. You had the concept behind the whole mix.
Yeah, we tried to pick different artists every tune.
Yeah.
So the only time someone features twice is if they are in a collab, I would say.
I think so. Yeah.
So sometimes they come back with the if they had a solo tune, it maybe just worked, but in some cases there was a collab. But yeah, that was the aim. We didn't actually know whether we were going to achieve it or not when we started putting it together and planning it out. Obviously being with a limited number, but it was like we need to try and involve as much as the Frozen Plates family as much right now in the mix. So it wasn't about just like what's our favorite, who's our favorite, because obviously there's people who I would say sit inside. Someone like who's 3WA is on the cassette. We play a lot of his music, a lot of his tunes. The dub actually on this cassette will probably play in the main podcast in the next one from 3WA because I have played it out so much. I think it's worth. People have asked about that idea and we haven't actually told them because it's part of this project. And I'm afraid, even if they've asked me to my face, it's like, I'm afraid I'll just blurt the whole project if I So we've just like kept it hush, like it's just one of those. But it's had a lot of reactions. It's been getting wheel up since since XOY last year.
Yeah, it's in a lot of the vlogs we put out. It's always featured.
Yeah, but that was so that was the aim. I forget that. I'm glad you mentioned that because it was let's involve everyone. I think. From start to finish, there's
30 tracks we put in that mix.
Yeah.
So there's
45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes.
It's 45 minutes. Yeah.
So there should be 30 different producers.
But
which is pretty mad. And like you say, there is.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's probably 28 producers, 30 tracks, because there's 2
Yeah.
collabs, I think. So it's something, or maybe it's 27, but it's like it's a lot. We try, but that was the thing with planning it out. It was like, even though, like I said, I had 1 week to leave the country, so it was like, and we weren't gonna have any mixing stuff on me for like the first probably like 6 weeks of traveling. So it was like, I thought about getting one of those like tiny mini controllers for my trip, and I was like, why? I'm going away to chill out.
Yeah, you know,
like, so that didn't happen. But yeah, it was amazing to put together, and like, you know, like, I listened to the mix a whole bunch when I first left, first couple of weeks. It was just like on our SoundCloud in the background. I wanted to listen to like Curtis Bass, and I was like, oh man, he did that bit with that bit again, and I was like, oh yeah, and then I bounced off it with that. But it was kind of like, after that, I haven't listened to it till you sent the cassettes. You know, I put it on my little boombox, and I was like, oh, this is now feels real.
I think you actually did perform 1-2 tracks together. What is in this mix live as well? I think you have.
Yeah.
That was at XOYO.
Yeah, which was it? Yeah, XOYO.
But it wasn't these tracks. It was
there's one on here.
One of them, and then I think it was
it's in the vlog.
Yes, it is in the vlog. Yes, it is.
Has it come out yet? The other one. I don't know.
We did it as just
is it actually out on Frozen Plates?
Yeah, that one's out. One? Yeah, that one's out already.
Okay, there you go. So, yeah, there you go. So I just put them in the mix again. I was like, oh, that works perfectly. Yeah. You asked us, and I was like, oh, I've already done that. So that needs to stay in.
Yeah.
I think it's my section in the mix.
Yeah.
But
I haven't listened to that mix in like ages, so I'm gonna listen to it tomorrow.
I had it on again today, actually. So you sent us 6 cassettes, actually. I gave one to my mom straight. Well, I knew as soon as she'd seen the artwork, she was like, oh, I want it. I want to own it. She doesn't even have a tape player, but of course I grew up like with cassettes and stuff, just as, you know, it was like cassette players were still like in cars and stuff. It was like CDs weren't really like in everything yet. My dad, I've still got my dad's tapes, like his bedroom from back in the day. So for me, it was just like, yeah, do you know what? Mumsy's gonna have to get one of these. There's no way. I can't not give her one. But I think it's brilliant. Like the red's perfect as well.
Yeah. Actually, it was an absolutely accidental choice.
Really?
Because the designer guy just choose the color, like really accidentally, and show me, how do you like it, the red one? And I was like, yeah, but I wanted to make it black. But actually the red is much better than the black, so just keep it.
I think so. I think it's like, it makes it a bit more arcane. It matches like your traditional ink work, you know, your artwork, the ones that we're using as well. The red, I think
the red, it works. Yeah,
it's perfect. Like, you know, we talked about like the inspo, like you probably didn't think about it, but if you look at Taiwan and you walk down the streets and you see writing's probably vertical, you know, in vertical.
Yeah. Probably on every temple and every church is the red is the basic color. So
that's it. So it works perfectly, man. I think I was just gonna, before we've got a couple of other things we need to make sure we mention. A couple of the artists are first time working with on the cassette. I think they've not yet featured on a vinyl yet, I guess, maybe the case. But I think so the number 1 track, Argo, that's the first time you've worked with him, right? Isn't it, Radio?
Yeah. This is the first time. This is absolutely first time. I always loved his music.
Yeah.
You know, his style is somewhere between the hip hop and the dubstep. And they always wanted to release one of his music, and I just messaged him on SoundCloud.
Sick.
Yeah, man, I'm working on a cassette.
So old school. It's like, I want to put you on a cassette. I'm messaging you on SoundCloud, not on Instagram.
Yeah. Little bit contradictory, but
super new school. It would be TikTok, but nah, I'll message you on SoundCloud, which is only just got the message inside the app. It could have been 2 months before he's seen it, but that's amazing. And now he's on a cassette tape. It's so sick. We've just not long featured his album as well, haven't we?
Yeah,
on Encrypted Audio, which is amazing work. Awesome. Of course, 11th Hour. You had in
Budapest. He has a long history at the label.
Yeah,
he was on the 3rd Frozen Plates.
Yeah.
Together with Leap, a Hungarian producer.
Yeah.
And then he was on the 11th record.
What?
And and then the 22nd record.
Now he's going to be on the
33rd. maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, we worked a lot together, and what I loved in Jason's music, it's he has this ethnic, tribal, style, and also his low end and bass is just incredible, and it's fantastic to mix.
Yeah,
you always say it's
we
fantastic to mix, but it's true.
You haven't even seen it, but we've literally just talked about him again on the latest podcast. Just about if I'm in a back-to-back and I'm unsure about where they're going to go with it or not, I want some 11th out on my USB stick. I want him. He's
exactly
going to save me in a trouble patch. And we had it when we played Ministry of Sound. We went back with Ernie, and I was like, man, I ain't got a clue what he's going to end up playing and stuff. And we're going off each other back-to-back. So it's like, I'm not even sure what he's going to play because we share the same tune. So it's like, I'm getting some 11th out on a stick, man, because he's going to save my skin when I need to just blend some in.
Yeah.
Or roll off something perfectly, like no troubles, man.
Yeah, I love this stuff. He sent me some real new stuff like today, I think it was, and I was just like, yeah, perfect. That's going straight into the next mix. Like it's going like
people be eyeing up those. That
yeah,
33 is getting locked in. Amazing. I suppose we ain't got time to go through everyone, man. But we should mention we're gonna feature man like Sadik.
Sadik. Yeah.
Is it correct as well?
Yeah, I've got to. We have to say it's UK guys. You're looking at the knowns. You're reading them. People, we would say Kadik, but it's
it's a confusing name, but
yeah. As we learn, it's Sadik. We're gonna play his tune for you now. Sadik Tribe. It's number 9 on the cassette tape. Check it out, peeps, and we'll catch you on the other side.
Woof!
So yeah, Pete, man, tell us about Sadik. Tell us about the Hungarian scene. Tell us about his history within it. We got the feeling just from meeting him for the first time, man. So yeah, let us know a bit about Sadik, who he is.
Yeah. So Sadik started DJing in the early 90s. He was a pioneer of the Hungarian instrumental hip hop music scene. He was a scratching DJ. He also worked with several music bands. He played in jazz band. He also produced jungle and drum and bass. So he's a very colorful person, and he had a long history in the Hungarian underground music scene. And since the early 2000s, he focused on the dubstep. And in the last couple of years, he's been focusing on producing. And he has a few releases, mostly on Bandcamp, his own self-released stuff. But once we sit down in a coffee shop, had a tea, had a coffee, and showed me his fresh dub plates. And I can assure you, he's working on fires.
Yeah.
And well, because a couple of days ago, I sent you some of his tracks, and what else? He got like 60 dubs almost ready to release.
Mad.
We're working on a 12-inch EP, and I don't want to spoil anything, but he has some other stuff forthcoming on different labels. And if you listen his music, he has an absolutely different style than anyone else in the dubstep music scene. His percussions, his hi-hats, his bass, his voice, and other samples, it's absolutely different. And until 11th hour, it's good to mix, easy to mix, and it's absolutely a positive thing. Sadik is totally different. It sucks to mix.
Yeah.
Like a few days ago, we had a phone call, and he was like, "Hey Peter, I started to making music which easier to mix."
That's
It's so
that's
true.
jokes, bro.
It is true because when we first found out about Sadik back here when his White Peach release, I remember trying to play around with some of those dubs, and I think the arrangement just didn't really work with my style. So I had to just flick it away.
I was like, sounds sick.
Yeah,
I mixed it though. You're right though when it comes to like just like his percussion, man. He's like his drums, his use of delays and space in his tracks, like, but his percussion for me, man, just like it sets him apart. Like each section of his tunes are like a movie interlude. Like it actually inspired me. Like those who know, it's not really a secret anymore that I've been dabbling around in production and stuff. I'm just in no rush to like, because it's not like the music thing. Creatively, my music's already set, but like when I hear his music, for me, it's like it's so inspiring, man. When you sent me them tracks 2 days ago, you asked, man, I was in Ableton there like all mate till late. There, like I was like, I've got to go to bed, man. I got work tomorrow. I'm there, like this guy's just sparked like another little. I'm there, like, yo, I've got to figure out this thing that I know that I've been trying personally in my own music, and it feels so relatable to me. But like Sadik's music kind of like, it's like a kung fu interlude. It's like the big boss marching up to the field, and the guy's gonna cut, and they're gonna start drawing swords, and I'm there like, yo, I'm hooked in the movie, and I'm the one who's painting it in my own brain, listening to his music. It's mad. It's a different levels of sonics, man, that he's dealing with. There's something special, and his DJ sets as well, man. Like,
that's the other part about him. He can make this amazing music, but he's really fucking sick at DJing as well. And he obviously is a vinylist. And when he played in Budapest, he plays on the time code.
Yeah, so
he uses time code vinyl.
So he's old school, and it's great to see people still progressing with that and not just going, yeah, fuck it, we'll just get a USB, put it in CDJs. That's what he loves, that's what he's done, and he's continuing.
Exactly. It's like when you're driving a car, there are people who using automatic and others using just manual. Sadik is the natural manual guy. It's just like, no, I don't know how to play, don't know how to use it. It's just, no, I don't want.
Yeah. But
the guy has like more than 20,000 vinyl records.
Yeah,
I've heard about it. 20,000.
I'd love to get in his charge, I say the next time we come to Budapest, we're gonna have to have a little. I think we're gonna have to drink some Palinka at Sadik's house. We're gonna have to get Zostra to invite us around as well, and just say, hey, you're hosting. No ifs or buts. Even if they got babysitter for the little one, we're coming around. Easy. We're gonna have a pre-mix, a civil one, but it's gonna involve a couple walnut palinkas and.
Well, actually, go you grab it there. I got the fig.
Oh no! You still got it. come on.
I know, yeah, he's weak, man.
No, I can't have it in my room by myself here. I've got to have a special occasion.
I'm drinking
Okay.
myself today on today's podcast.
Yeah.
How much he's let me down.
I'll drive you home.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Thanks, bro. God, it's 10:11 here. Jeez. Yeah, big up Sadik, man. That was Tribe that we played earlier. People, make sure you go look out. When I say Peter, when's it going up on sale and stuff? We need to mention it. Do you know?
This month. You know the date?
I forgot. It's end of June, right?
23rd, Friday.
There's a lot of releases on the 23rd, but yeah, that's like official release date as people like to roll with, innit?
How many copies?
150.
150.
Oh, 150. Okay, I thought it was 100. Yeah, 150. That's nice.
150, and they're numbered as well, aren't they, on the ticket? So on here, I've got number 6 out of 1. I'll just say out of 150. Yeah.
There you go.
So
yeah, she says it inside.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so that'll be via the Frozen Plates website, right? Big cartel, isn't it? It will all be linked down below for the people. Yeah. We've got to say, if you listen to this now, this has been up especially for our Patreon gang, probably somewhat roughly a week or so earlier. We'll see what happens. We're still figuring out Patreon. It's all brand new, but also this is our first giveaway. Here we go on Patreon, Peter. It's happening, man. We're gonna give away one of the Frozen Plates. Frozen tapes.
Yeah.
Vol.1. We're going to be giving this away, and it's both available to our top 2 tiers, the our fam and deep fam tiers. The rest of our giveaways are going to be exclusively to our top tier members. But for the first one, just saying thank you to everyone who's come along. You're all involved. I'm probably just going to do one of those like online spin the wheel things and pick someone at random, let it do that. That's usually how we do our giveaways. But yeah, gotta say thanks, Peter. Thank you, bro, for having us involved, man. It's been sick to be a part of.
Thank you for making such a great mix.
It's all
anytime, mate. Anytime. Hopefully more to come.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be in the future. There'll be some other stuff. Like we said, people, if you don't follow Frozen Plates, you need to go follow him on Instagram. Mr. Frozen Dubs over here. Some of the most fire tunes from some of the sickest up and comers and established artists in the scene. Limited vinyl. If you don't know, if you do buy the vinyl, you get the digis as well, people. But it's limited as well. So you just need to go. You need to keep on it. You need to follow the scene. In case we missed something, in case you missed an announcement, or you want to get minute updates on the actual release date itself. But have we covered everything, Peter? Have we missed anything?
I don't know. I think, I
think we're good.
SoundCloud. Yeah. You want to go to bed, don't you?
Yeah. Late for him. Oh yeah, you're an hour ahead. Jeez. Yeah, how did we forget?
It's 11:12 for you.
We're fools. Yes. Big up everyone for tuning in. Look out for the next feature on the Deep Tempo podcast as well, coming at probably just before that. Would be the week of that release, won't it? So there'll be one on the Wednesday, the week of. Sick to be a part of it. The first thing with Deep Tempo's name on it physically.
Yeah.
Maybe the next thing will be a vinyl. Who knows? I don't know. We have to make a tune for that. I don't know how that would. I just realized you can't have a whole 45-minute mix on one side. Wow.
Stuff I've heard, bro.
You could do on the album. We'll see. Big up, people. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll catch you in the next podcast because I have no idea how long that is from this one.
Yeah, whenever.
Peace.